Hi everybody, this little video seems to be a bit of everything, I guess. Earlier in the spring I was talking about my grafted Asian pear tree, and somebody asked me to show them the pears in the fall. Well, if you've been following me, you know it was a very hot, very dry summer here, and I don't know if that what accounts for the size of the pears or not. That's probably about the largest one. It's a grafted tree with 4 varieties on it, and I think 3 of the varieties produced. Very tasty. I love the things. They're very crisp. I just went out and picked them all because soon they would just fall on the ground, and when that happens, slugs and whatever else gets them. I'll get a knife here. I think last year they were, I don't know, a bit larger than that anyway. I think these are smaller than they were last year. It's a relatively young tree, not all that big, so I'm hoping they will get bigger, because if you see Asian pears in a grocery store, that's roughly, I don't know, maybe a quarter the size of an Asian pear. They're more shaped like an apple, and they're very crisp and very juicy, and I love the flavor. I keep hoping for a better year for them. Maybe that'll be next year, I guess. I don't know, maybe there are some people out there that are like me, had never seen how hazelnuts grow on the tree until, well, I guess maybe 3 years ago was the first time my tree had any. I have 3, I guess, 3 trees, but one of them really produces. That's 4 hazelnuts there. I think I've got quite a few, but you can't tell until the leaves start falling off the tree. I just can't see them. I just wanted to pick some before the fall on the ground and squirrels or whatever gets them. But last year I picked them too early. I read something or saw something on YouTube that said I could harvest them early and they would continue to ripen or mature or whatever. If you were worried about squirrels getting them, well, I harvested them and I got shells with very little meat inside. But this year I've been, for 2 or 3 weeks now, I've been bringing some in and eating them, and they're full of meat. So, encouraged by that, I'm going to have a pretty good crop of hazelnuts. And the third thing is I'm making a very strange soup. I've never made it before, so I thought I would do a video. It's called a West Coast seafood chowder, and the mix here is from the Mitchell's Soup Company. I just checked online. They're in the Cowichan Valley on Vancouver Island and west coast of Canada, and they make a lot of different kinds of soup mixes, and they're all packaged like this. You might be able to find this at a scoop shop or whatever. I found it at a roadside farm stand. My favorite one on the north side in Fredericton. I think it's probably actually in Jemseg. It's what used to be called Harvey's Big Potato, and there was this large concrete sculpture of a potato with arms and legs and eyes and all that kind of stuff outside of it. I can't tell you for sure if the potato is still there this year. I think the Harveys sold the farm and someone else runs it, but it's an excellent roadside stand still. I will put the link to the company below the video if anybody actually wants to buy some of their mixes and try some of their soups. They must have a dozen or more different varieties, and you can buy directly from them. So I'll put the link, and if you're interested you can get this and give it a try. But I'm just about to start putting this together. The first part of the soup making is not in that package. 4 tablespoons of butter in a large saucepan. I'm using a stock pot, stainless steel, heavy bottom stock pot, in which you saute 1 onion, and I just cut it up roughly. It will fall apart as you saute it, and by the time the soup is made it will almost disappear anyway, so I didn't bother dicing it very small. Bring you back when that has sort of gone translucent or whatever for the next phase. The onions have been in the butter for several minutes now, and they're even starting to take on a little color, and the smell is wonderful. Now you add 6 cups of water. This is 4 cups, but I'll add 2 more a little later on here. 3 carrots sliced up and 3 or 4 medium-sized potatoes. Actually, these carrots came from the same farm stand. Here's the soup. And I've opened the top of this, if you can see here. You pinch it off and add the top part, which is beans. I'll make sure that that's just 1 or 2 beans. I guess I'll let some of whatever that is down below it go in there as well. Now you bring this back to a boil and then turn it down immediately to a simmer and let it cook covered for an hour until the beans are tender. So I will add 2 more cups of water and bring you back in an hour's time. Well, it has been simmering for an hour and the beans are tender. Now you add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. It's a very small lemon, so I think I'll add the juice for the whole lemon. And seafood. You can add fresh seafood as well, according to the instructions. Their suggestion was a can of clams with the juice and a can of crab meat with the juice. I thought I bought clams, what I bought was oysters, so mine's going to have a can of oysters with the juice. And I couldn't find crab meat, so I'm adding a can of flaked white tuna. Give that a little stir. A pint of cream or milk. I'm using coffee cream, which is 18% butter fat. Like whipping cream is something like 34%, so this isn't quite so evil. And the remainder of the ingredients in the package, and that is rice down in there. I guess I could read the fine print and find out what the rest of it is. I don't know. Dehydrated vegetables of different kinds. On the bottom here is some herb seasonings. A white powder, which I'm assuming is either flour or cornstarch as a thickener. This all gets put in there now. And this is simmered until the rice, in particular, until the rice is cooked. It does smell good. It said in here how long to simmer it. Simmer for 20 to 30 minutes, it says, until the rice is tender. So it'll take a bit of time before this comes back to a simmer because of adding the colder ingredients, the cream and whatever. So when this is finished, we'll give it a try and see what it looks like, or it tastes like. I already see, I guess, what it looks like. I'm not sure what those green herbs are, but they're looking nice on the surface along with the butter. Bring you back when it's at the table. Well, Julia Child would say, bon appetit. It's thick, thickened, of course, with whatever those thickening agents that were in it. Here we don't thicken chowders. They do over across the border. A chowder called a New England chowder is thickened. It smells delicious. I'll have one of the oysters if I can get it cooled down enough to try it. I like that. I don't know what the herbs were, other than I think one of them is rosemary. Probably parsley. I don't know what else might have been in it for herbs. It's very tasty. Jam-packed full of flavor. I might place an order myself with the Mitchell's Soup Company. Try some of their other soups. Everything that you need is in the tube except the seafood, potatoes, carrots, cream, all onions, all that good stuff. But most of the ingredients are in the dry ingredients in the tube. And you could add any seafood that you wanted to add, any canned seafood or fresh seafood. Fish or scallops or anything like that would be excellent in it. Well, there's my dinner prepared, but it made a very large stock pot, half full, so I think this will be lunch for several days. Well, thank you very much for watching.